going to do a little arc to try to get under you. 100 feet back, making that dive. Too cool here.
That 38 is no matter what I do, he's today.
Race friends, it's time for the fastest 2 hours in motorsports. It's time for On Pit Road Racing, right here, right now, live from downtown Las Vegas on the flagship station, the WCOBM Television Network. Our race team will have all the latest news, updates, and interviews for the world of motorsports. So buckle up and pull those belts tight. The green flag is in the air, and it's time to go racing. And here are the hosts of On Pit Road Racing, Alan Michaels and the First Lady, Diane Fox.
And there we are. John Lindquist really does it, doesn't he, Diane?
Yeah. I can't say anything more about John Lindquist. Is just that voice.
He just
he commands that you watch. You're not seeing him, you're hearing him, but he commands with that voice that you watch that video.
There you go, man. We want to thank John Lindquist, and everybody at Black Eagle Sound for taking good care of all that for you. You're listening and watching On Pit Road Racing. The show comes to you live from the WCOBM television studios downtown Las Vegas at the 450 Fremont Street in suite number 171. Inside here is also the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame and also the Gene Woods Racing Experience, Las Vegas' true only indoor drift track, and it's right here. The show airs each and every Wednesday from 5 to 7, but today 5 to 6 because we're getting ready to get packed up and go back out on the road again, Diane. We're heading to California, and you'll talk all about that coming up, okay? Hey, we stream the show live right here at WCOBM.tv on all of our Facebook channels. YouTube has got it, and we're getting hooked up with LinkedIn. LinkedIn will only allow you to do a certain amount of segment time on there, so we're trying to work something out with them. They'll let us carry it. So what we can do is that we can tape the show like we're doing now, but we're doing it live, but taping it, so we can just rebroadcast it on our LinkedIn channel. So I think that's what we're going to do. And the Facebook page is done. I just got an email from Tim Torres. We've got to send him up all the login information from GoDaddy, and he will have that bad boy ready to go for us probably tomorrow afternoon, Diane.
Oh, that's exciting.
It is really looking good. On Pit Road Racing, that is .com. That is the official website right here. And want to thank Tim Torres. He's our special IT guy, graphic designer. He's done all of our new logos and things, and he has put the website together. And I got an email from Tim and said, I need 2 pieces of information from you. And I told him we'd send it off and get it right there to him. So we want to thank Tim Torres. Give him a special shout out. Our show partners for this thing is Gene Woods Racing, 2 great locations here in Las Vegas, 450 Fremont Street. Also the outdoor track at 121 East Sunset right there. Those are the big fast cars out there. All are open 7 days a week, and you can find more information on the World Wide Web at gokartslasvegas.com. Woods Family Sandwiches, great sandwich. And Deli, I know you love the chicken salad that Daylin makes over there, don't you, Diane?
Best chicken salad in Vegas.
And you got 2 great locations to pick it up right here in the Las Vegas Henderson area and also up in Boulder. All you got to do to get more information with that is go to the World Wide Web, WFSandwiches.com. Also want to thank our good friends at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later on because our special guest is Mr. Gene Woods, and he'll be joining us in about 30 minutes or so. So we'll talk Speedway racing and the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and also our good friends out at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, LVMS.com. And, of course, we just got done with 4 Wide. We've had NASCAR here, so we're getting ready to rack them up and stack them up and go again. Diane's working hard to get all the guests together. She's got our good friends at the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from GMS Racing, Grant Enfinger, Daniel Dye, and Rob Caruth are all going to be joining us. Also, the 1990 Daytona 500 champion, Derek Cope, and his wife, Alicia. They've got a brand-new book coming out, Diane, a podcast that you and I we just can't take the headphones off. It's so good, man.
Yeah, it's a wonderful podcast.
So
2 very smart people.
Really good.
Very smart.
And if you're looking about some advertising, promotion, and about sponsorship, then listen to Alicia's segments because she's the lady that really helped Derek out and getting all that.
She's a genius at the marketing.
She really is.
She really is.
So we're going to talk racing with Derek. We're going to talk about their new book, their podcast, and everything else that's coming up with them. And, of course, they've got all kinds of great ideas. So that's coming, too. Also, man, we're hooking this up, trying to get the final things together. We're going to have Jeff Motley and Brandon Gaunt. Brandon Gaunt, who did a lot of time in NASCAR, Xfinity Cup Series, family, very well known. His family also ran the El Cortez. They've got the South Point now. So we're going to talk Brandon Desert Racing, NASCAR racing, and also talk to Jeff Motley to find out what it's like to control 1,100 people in the war room when media days here, right, Diane?
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's
that's
like a circus.
It is. So we thank all the people, all the great people here at WCOBM on Pit Road Racing, man. And that's pretty much about it. Diane, shall we check the weather and see what's going on in racing weekend this weekend?
Yeah, we've got NASCAR at the Talladega Motor Speedway.
Yep.
And for Saturday for the Xfinity race, there's a 30% chance of rain. But now I had my weather bug on this afternoon.
Okay.
Okay, and it did a little chirp or whatever.
We choked.
A chirp.
Oh,
Like a little
chirp. Okay,
bug
I thought
chirp.
she said it choked.
No, it did a little chirp, and so I clicked on it, and it looks like they may have some severe storms
Oh wow.
coming that away for this weekend. So right now it's only a 30% chance of rain with a high of 70 and a low of 40.
Okay.
I think a nice day, but a cool night.
All right.
70 for the Cup, about the same, except it's going to be sunny. And right now there's no rain in the forecast, but I think that rain's coming Friday and Saturday,
Right.
That's what it looked like on the radar. But there's a high of 69 and a low of 46.
Right.
I think it says 6.
Yeah, there you go. 46.
So,
46 degrees.
I don't know. Talladega may prove to be a Martinsville.
Well, it could be, but there's one thing that I guarantee you: the NASCAR's not going to do at Talladega that they did at Martinsville. If the rain comes, there ain't going to be no rain tires. That's for sure.
No,
not at
no.
200 mile an hour around that track.
Oh no! Gosh, no! Gosh,
So
no! Gosh.
that's where you're at with that. Okay. Anything else? Of course.
Well, the trucks are off for 2 weeks.
2 weeks
So we
on
don't
truck.
we don't have no truck racing for 2 weeks.
All right.
IndyCar's off until April 30th, and then when they come back, they return to the Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
The F1, they're off until April 28th, and when they come back, they return back to let's see, Azerbaijan.
You said it right, Diane. There you
Yeah.
go.
And where is Azerbaijan? I didn't look last
I
night.
think it's a Middle Eastern country
Okay.
is where they're
So
in.
that's where they return to.
All
So
right. And weather is being brought to you by our good friends at the Woods Family Sandwiches, 2 locations here in Las Vegas and Henderson, also up in Boulder City. WFSandwiches.com. When we come back, we're going to talk a little racing with you. We'll get started with NHRA. We'll take a quick break, about 60 seconds worth, and we'll be back and we'll get you caught up with racing on Pit Road Racing right here at the WCOBM live television streaming network in the heart of downtown Las Vegas. Back right after this, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas. Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Lane 2 closest, Antron Brown. It is not go full time. Toyota. Antron needed a good run.
You're ready, Diane. Watch them. There they go. Ladies and
Everybody
gentlemen,
in the
here's
safety net.
Nitro Power. If you missed 4 Wide Racing last weekend, there's a little dose of it for you right there. That is for sure. That is 4 Wide Racing right here at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Diane. And that was, it is just something every year, man.
I really hated to miss it. I know you and Gene and a couple other friends went out there this weekend. Of course, I was like quarantining myself from pneumonia. So I will be back out there the next time because, yeah, come hell or high water.
That's
but I did get to watch it on TV.
It was something.
Which was great. I love to watch Antron Brown, because when he wins, I mean, his passion comes out.
It just says that.
And I really, I mean, it's not that I've never been a Tony Stewart fan, because I have. I mean, I respect him, but when I saw him win his first Wally,
Yeah.
And the look on his face,
Right.
it was priceless. I
Right.
mean, he's got passion for it all.
He certainly does.
He's
He's
got
been
passion
doing
for it
it. He's
all,
been
so.
doing it a long way. Shall we
Yeah.
get started here? And we'll get to Tony in just a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
How about it? Well, man, a very special shout out. We want to say hi to all the good folks. Josh and everybody over at the NHRA had a great time at the luncheon. They treated us really good out at the track. We were out there this past weekend, so we wanted to thank those guys, everybody from the NHRA, Ali Brand, Josh, everybody out there. The Strip gets its first of 2 locations and 2 shots at the Worldwide Race. And Diane, of course, it all got kicked underway in Charlotte. And you've got a tagline. We're going to get to this in just a couple of minutes. That's right. It'll get a shot. If you didn't miss it this weekend, if you missed it, then you got a shot coming up in 2 weeks, because it returns back to ZMAX Raceway in Charlotte, North Carolina. And you'll make sure you're going to do it, because it'll all be there. The Pro Stocks, Funny Cars, Top Fuel, man, they'll have it all lined up. But, man, Diane, let's get to the big point here, man. How about the results? You got the results from what happened at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway this weekend.
Yeah, well, like first when I was first talking, Tony Stewart wins his first top alcohol dragster Wally at the Strip at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
And it was a national event,
And
too.
it was a national event.
Yes.
So this was his first. He was so excited. His wife, Leah, was super excited. So it was really good to see somebody come from a different motorsport and be able to get in a car like that and do what he did.
That's it.
I mean, because last year, he didn't,
And
that was his first year. So.
we saw the press conference at the end, and they asked Tony, he says, well, is your next stop going to be up to Top Fuel? And Tony shook his head and said, no, I'm having a great time. He said, the people that I'm racing against are top quality people.
And he's having the time of his life.
He's having
so
fun.
He's having fun.
That's
yeah.
it. And of course,
And you
Tony's
can tell, yes.
Tony, not only, NASCAR days, man, but back in IndyCar days, he's run sprint cars. He's run just about everything that you got with 4 wheels. I think even we'll have to find out if he ran any 2-wheel stuff, but he was definitely that. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
So Antron Brown, he claimed his first win of the Top Fuel season. And he was elated because of the season, this is his first.
Right.
And Antron, he's a good winner. He's fun to watch. So congratulations to my buddy Antron Brown on your first win of this season. And Matt Hagan, he strengthens his points lead with the 3rd win in his first 4 races in the funny car.
He is just absolutely.
I
It's
like
3
that.
in a row for Matt Hagan,
Mhm.
and of course he drives for Tony Stewart Racing.
Yep. So there's
in
a
that
double,
Dodge. So
there's
there's
a double booster for Tony this week.
it could have been a triple if Leah could have popped in
Yeah.
there. But go ahead, Diane.
Yeah. And then Dallas Glenn, he picked up his 2nd straight win in Pro Stock.
Yep.
Erica didn't have a good weekend.
Erica's not had a good weeks
It's
at
been
all.
a few weeks, yeah.
It's been 4 weeks since the season
Now,
started.
you got to talk to her last Wednesday, right?
Yeah,
Or Thursday.
she felt really confident about everything. Of course, she's got 9 wins out here, 5 championships. She's won 2 of her Pro Stock championships at this track at Las
Yes.
Vegas Motor Speedway. And I mean, to beat Erica Enders, and I wouldn't say it's her home track because I believe she lives down in the Houston, Texas area, so that would be more towards her home, I guess.
Yes.
But she might as well claim that the Strip is her home track. But this weekend for Erica was
It was
not a good weekend
no,
at all.
It was not a good weekend. Now, did you get a chance to talk to Leah on Thursday?
We saw Leah at the press meeting, and she had some comments just generally directed to the press that she was happy that of course the first year out, her and Matt Hagan went in through the first new car blues, you might say. But Leah seems to be working it out. One of the things that Leah mentioned in the press conference, and everybody knows that she's married to Tony Stewart, and she said that there's one thing that Tony is really listening to everything. But she said before the end of this season, Tony won't listen to her anymore because of the reason why. She's taught everything to Tony that she could teach him. So now it's just down to Tony's raw talent in the car.
Right.
And the other thing that she made a thing that her and Tony said that they really liked, this was something that Tony really had a passion for, that he wanted to meet a partner in life that they could go racing together. And so now, even though Leah's up into the NHRA's top division of Top Fuel, and Tony's in the alcohol division, pretty much every week they're together. And if Tony's not, then of course Tony's going to be in Talladega in the Fox booth this weekend because the alcohol dragsters aren't running this week. So, but it was just really good. Leah was very happy about things, that she seemed very positive about this team, of course, powered by Dodge. And Matt Hagan, you can't say anything. He's our good old boy from North Carolina, Diane, 3 in a row. And he's, Ron Capps is really going to have to dial it up, and everybody else along, Real quick shout out to Alexis DeJoria, too. Good weekend for Alexis. Made it up through the semifinal rounds. It's good to see her back in action. So that, anyhow, to let everybody know, are we done? We got all the wrap up?
Yeah, that's the results. And I figured you probably have some standings right now for everybody, don't you?
Well, we certainly do. And I'll tell you, topping the Top Fuel, it's Steve Torrance and his Capco Top Fuel racer. He leads Justin Ashley by 13 points. I'll tell you, though, the big move of the week, Diane, was Antron Brown. Man, he was deep into the pockets, but with the wind pulled him up in the 4th into the standings. We just went over this real quickly. Matt Hagan, 3 in a row. He's driving for Tony Stewart Racing. Man, he's 105 points on top of Ron Capps as it stands right now. Pro Stock Cars, Dallas Glenn, you said double winner this year. 51 up on Troy Coughlin Jr. and Pro Stock Motorcycles, which was not in action this week, but will be back in action in Charlotte. It's Gage Herrera up on top. Man, That's how it was. Diane, though, real quickly, we had I was sitting having lunch with Gene and our good friend Jerry Bernardo, who Jerry used to work with ESPN and ESPN2 and Motor World. And he asked me, he said, Alan, he goes, where did 4 Wide race? And we took him out there, and boy, it shook his rattlers. He goes, where did 4 Wide racing come from? And Diane, you've got all the details where 4 Wide racing came from.
Well, it's pretty simple, and it's a pretty short story, but former SMI executive officer and Las Vegas Motor Speedway owner, Bruton Smith, he's had this, evidently, and from what I've read and listened to, his son, Marcus, said that he's always had this in the back of his mind.
Right.
He's always had it. I guess when he built the strip here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, he built it to where he left room for 2 additional lanes.
Right.
So it's always been in the back of his mind.
Right.
But there was, I guess there was a lot of people yay or nay for it.
The drivers publicly, what I read in the press reports, the drivers publicly were okay
with it.
But privately, they just thought it was some big gimmick is what it was.
So he built it, and he built the first one in Charlotte. They call it the Bellagio of drag strips. He did that in 2009 at the ZMAX Dragway in Charlotte.
Right.
Like I said, it's always something he's wanted to do, and Bruton's Bruton's an amazing man. I mean, he's no longer with us anymore, but you know what? I think he's still going to have things to say and things to do with motorsports.
Right.
He's brought so many new things to drag racing and to the motorsports in general, and now certainly with this 4 Wide, and there's only 2.
Yep.
There's only 2. 4-way drag strips, but I think there's going to be a lot more, and that's going to carry on his legacy. So that's where it came from. It came from the back of the mind of Bruton Smith. He saw it, and just like that ball game, the baseball, whatever, build it, and they will come.
Field of Dreams.
And you know what? They do.
Yeah.
If I read that if people have never seen it, and look at you and go, what do you mean 4 Wide? No, 2. No, there's 4. They go out there out of curiosity.
Correct.
And once they get out there and they see 4 and hear and feel that power, they're coming back.
The first year that he ran it in Charlotte Motor Speedway, pretty much the stands were dead because the classic NHRA fans had 4 Wide. What are you talking about? This is not drag racing. This is not what came from California.
And there's still people out there like that that don't think that there should be 4 Wide.
And you know what? Alan Reinhardt, who is the voice of the NHRA, does all the track announcing. They had a week off before they came here. And Alan said he got an invite to go to Bristol 3 weeks ago, when they ran in Bristol on the dirt. And Alan was saying, wait a minute, Bristol, half-mile track on dirt.
Yeah.
I don't know about this, but you know what? He took the invitation up, and the reason why he said he took the invitation, he just had to go see it. He had to go see that.
If you've been to the, just the regular, drag strip with the NHRA, and you have never been to 4-wide, get your butt up and go.
Yeah.
Because you are going to be amazed you're going to be amazed at the power you hear and that you feel.
Right.
With 4 of those cars.
11,000
on a
horsepower
track.
times 4 is 44,000 horsepower, and how the track even handles that much power and torque coming off of it. Of course, we were out there when they poured the concrete for that new surface, and I mean, it is thick. So, I mean, it is something else. Wrapping up NHRA reports, and of course, I think we got everybody down as far as the standings and everything go. Let me make sure that we didn't miss anybody out on it as we hit my little machine here. Once again, Steve Torrance on top of Top Fuel for you. Matt Hagan in Funny Car, Dallas Glenn and Pro Stocks, and Gage Herrera coming up. Round number 4 coming up for the next round, coming up for the NHRA Stars 4-wide coming up in Charlotte. It's going to be April 28th through the 30th. You can get tickets for that at the NHRA.com, and we want to thank everybody, all the people at NHRA this past weekend, because what a great crew they were out there. Take a quick break. We're about 60 seconds worth. When we come back, we're going to get you lined up for the NASCAR weekend and what happened there, and we'll take good care of all that right after this. You're watching On Pit Road Racing right here at the WCOBM, live from downtown Las Vegas, everybody.
Welcome to my world. Handicap man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, hey, you want some shoes? I said, yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well. And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. I'm not but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone. It makes for good karma or good energy, whatever it takes. Hell, I ought to do a product placement for Coca-Cola too.
You're pushing it, Turtle, but have a good day. Thanks, mate. I appreciate you coming on camera.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
All right, talk to you later.
Later, dude.
Nobody Turtle there, man. Gene Woods, the founder of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, 3-time national Speedway motorcycle champion, did time with NASCAR, stadium trucks. He's done it all. He's going to join us here in a couple of minutes. He's like a Tony Stewart. He certainly is right there. We're watching On Pit Road Racing right here live from downtown on the WCOBM television network. We do it each and every Wednesday, 5 to 7. Today, just an hour for today. We got some things to get ready to do because we're getting ready to hit the road this weekend. We're off to California to Costa Mesa, and we'll talk about that coming up in the second half of the program. Shall we get to our notes and information for NASCAR here, my friend?
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, let's do it. News and notes from NASCAR brought to you by the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. For tickets, events, more events, and scheduling, lvms.com. 3 stops, all 3 of the top series rolled into Martinsville, better known as the paperclip, 2 long straightaways and 4 tight little turns. That's what makes it up, and that's what makes a day of beating and banging fun, Diane, because you and I have been to that track several times. Getting started with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, rain, go away. It did, then it came back, and then it came again, and then it came back. So anyhow, NASCAR tried out those rain tires, and a lot of different combinations. A lot of the drivers liked it, a lot of the drivers didn't. Some people said the handling went off when they put those things on. Some said the handling got a little bit better. But anyhow, that's the way they did it. We got a first-time winner Friday night. It was Corey Helm who outlasted Kyle Busch and Zane Smith. Man, it was a big big night for that kid out there, man. He had a really good run, and of course the rain sort of played in his favor. But I want to give a shout out, Diane, to a guy that we used to know in the NHRA that's now in NASCAR, and I want to say hey out there to Tanner Gray. Finished up in 5th position in his truck, and what a great run. It just seems like every race Tanner's getting better and better and better, man. He is really coming along. Of course, he won the Pro Stock division a couple of years ago in the NHRA, then moved over to NASCAR. So it's Corey Heim, Kyle Busch, Zane Smith. That's who your top 3 in the podium were. Points-wise goes, it's Ty Majeski leading over Zane Smith and Ben Rhodes. And right now, those guys are all in. Trucks are off for 2 weeks, just like Diane said. Xfinity, great battles all night long with the Xfinity drivers, and one hell of a show they put on for you. Back and forth with the pole sitter, Cole Custer, Sammy Smith, and John Hunter Nemechek. Really got it rolling. I'll tell you what, Nemechek led 198 laps out of the 250, but it was a tight battle clear down to the end. But it was John Hunter Nemechek picking up the win. Sammy Smith in 2nd position. Cole Custer wraps up. Cole Custer for Stewart-Haas Racing started that car on the pole, and it looked like he was really somebody to beat all night long. But man, John Hunter just kept rolling on. Current points for the Truck Series, it's John Hunter Nemechek over Austin Hill and Chandler Smith, and like we said, the trucks are off for a couple of weeks, and Xfinity is going to be rolling up into Dega next weekend, okay? Kyle Larson picks up his first win of the Cup season. 2nd place went to Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr., who there's been a lot of talk, Diane. Could he be leaving Joe Gibbs? Could he be retiring from racing? Who knows what's going to happen, but Martin's been real explosive over the radio about his cars and his setup this year, but it looks like his crew chief got it right on Sunday because he's a top 3 finisher. Larson moves into the 4th into championship standings. He's 17 points back from current leader Christopher Bell. Chase Elliott, NASCAR 2-time all-favored driver, back in action at the Paperclip, struggled through the early part of the race, but finished up with the top 10. So that looked pretty good. Currently, right now, top of the points, it's Bell Chastain and Kevin Harvick. And, man, already in is going to be William Byron. Kyle Busch is in. Joey Logano's in. Christopher Bell's in. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Tyler Reddick. Kyle Larson's in now. He's got 2 wins. And, of course, that's it. They're off to Dega next weekend coming up. And you got some news and notes and things?
Yeah, sure do. Let's talk a little bit about Ryan Blaney.
Okay.
That's my driver, and so I got to give him a little plug today.
Okay.
But he's won 2 of the last 7 races on the high banks of the 2.66 mile track, and he finished runner up there last fall.
Right.
Okay. He's been strong overall on drafting tracks with 3 straight top 10 finishes, the longest streak among active drivers.
There you go.
So
let's hope Ryan can get a win, man.
He's done it before there. I think he can do it again. While Talladega certainly brings out the most unpredictable on a regular basis, the one constant seems to be Blaney. And based largely on that strong history, Racing Insights formula for predicting race favors him to win this week.
All righty.
So I think maybe we should head over to the casino and maybe put a little wager on.
You want to put some money on Ryan this week?
Blaney.
All
So,
right.
Others to watch in NASCAR news is Ross Chastain. He finished 1st and 4th last year at Talladega and was the only driver to finish in the top 5 in both races.
Okay.
Martin Truex Jr., as you were talking about just a little bit ago, he has had 2 straight finishes of 7th or better this season, and he finished 5th in this race last year.
All right.
Kevin Harvick, he has had 3 top 10 finishes in the last 4 races at Talladega, and he will be making his, ready for this, 800th career start in the Cup Series.
And he's rolling down. And of course, he goes to Fox next year. He joins Mike Joy and Clint Boyer up in the booth out there next year. So happy Harvick, bad dog in the pound. There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, to move on, we have Chase Elliott. He's fresh off a top 10 finish in his first race back from his leg injury. Elliott has led laps in 6 of the last 8 Talladega races.
Okay.
Now, when I saw him get out of his car after the race on Sunday, he looked tired.
Looked real tired.
He looked really tired. So, I guess he needs to eat some more of his Wheaties. So
He needs some more Wheaties, okay.
He looked really, really tired when he got out of that car on Sunday. Let's see. Denny Hamlin, his 4th place finish last week at Martinsville was his first top 5 this season.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I guess I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
and Denny's
That was his first top 5 this
yeah,
season?
he's not had a,
Wow,
Denny's
he's-
not had a good time. There's rumors and talks about that because FedEx has already made it pretty much known that they're going to be getting out of racing. So he's going to be losing a big chunk of money in sponsorship. But, you know, Denny's got his own team now. Tyler Reddick is doing well now. I mean, you know.
So at Talladega, he has 5 finishes of 7th or better in the last 7 races.
Okay.
So, I don't know. So I don't know who's your pick for this. Who's your pick for this weekend at Talladega?
Well, I have the faintest idea. I can just tell you that, you know.
I mean, out of all the ones to watch,
I'll tell you that
if you had to pick from one
I'll tell you, he's hungry for a win. You can't knock out Denny Hamlin at the big tracks. He's had real good success at in Daytona, Talladega too. So that, but I'll tell you, he's thirsty for a win, and he needs one too to get himself locked in. Martin Truex Jr. I think I'm going to watch Martin Truex this weekend. I think he's going to be somebody to watch on there. Real quickly too, if the boys and Scott Miller down in NASCAR ain't laid enough fines and money out, well, here we go again. Okay,
Yep, again.
And Gene told me this earlier, and I've actually talked to Scott Miller. Do not mess with this car. Do not mess with the parts in it. If you mess with the parts and they catch you, you're going to get fined. Well, here we go. NASCAR has penalized the number 3 Cup Series team of Austin Dillon and Richard Childress. It's a level 1 infraction after last weekend's race at the Martinsville Speedway. The team had violated overall assembly vehicle rules related to the underwing assembly and hardware. As a result, the crew chief, Keith Rodden, has been fined $75,000. He's been suspended for the next 2 championship cup points races. And the team and the driver will lose 60 points and 5 playoff points. So this is going to set him back.
Why would you want to cheat if you have to pay that much money?
Well, they think they're going to get away with it. Dillon finished 12th at Martinsville. He was 21st, but after that, before the penalty, so that's going to slap him back. That for sure. Other penalties: NASCAR suspended Chris Jackson. He's a rear tire changer, and David Smith, the Jackman for the number 78 team. Both have lost because of the suspension. They lost the wheels, and wheels went out on the track. NASCAR says no, that ain't going to happen. And finally, NASCAR has also fined three crew chiefs from the Xfinity Series $5,000 apiece for lug nut violations.
And they only have one lug nut.
No, well, no, on Xfinity they don't. Just the
did.
Cup.
That's just Cup. Okay.
The Cup cars have only got. The Cup cars have only got.
No, I don't think the Cups had too many lug nut penalties this season, have they?
Well, they've got one. So if you can't get one lug nut on there, right? I don't know.
I don't think you need to be even messing with that car if you can't get one damn lug nut off that car.
I think that's where you should be. That's it. Hey, you know what? We've still got to cover some IndyCar stuff, and I've got that Indy Mike is tied up tonight, so he sent me down some notes. So I'll do my best to get us through IndyCar because he's our open wheel guy, but he'll be back. But before we do, we're going to pay a couple of bills. You're watching On Pit Road Racing right here at the WCOBM, live from downtown. Alan Michaels, co-host the First Lady Diane Fox. We're going to take a quick break. We come back, we'll get you wrapped up in IndyCar, and we'll get ready for Gene Woods coming live right here at the WCOBM On Pit Road Racing. Everybody, back right after this.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Welcome to my world. Handicap man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, "Hey, you want some shoes?" I said, "Yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well." And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. Well, I'm not but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone. You know, it makes for good karma or good energy, whatever it takes. Hell, I ought to do a product placement for Coca-Cola, too.
You're pushing it, Turtle, but have a good day. Thanks, mate. I appreciate you coming on camera.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
All right, talk to you later.
Later, dude.
About 6 minutes before the top of the hour here on Pit Road Racing, live from downtown Las Vegas. Alan Michaels, Diane Fox. We do it each and every Wednesday right here on the WCOB and TV network. And we're talking at racing today, man. Also, real quickly, want to mention Local Tracks Bull Ring back in action this weekend out at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Get out at a local track near you. Enjoy some local racing because the boys like Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch and Larson and Elliott, all those guys, unless they started in grassroots racing, unless they had one heck of a bunch of money, that's where they get started at. So get out to a local track. You can also log on for stock cars. You can log on to NASCAR.com/local tracks. And it will put you up into a map. You can pick a state, North Carolina, Georgia, here in Nevada, California, whatever, and it's going to show you a listing of all the tracks and everything else that's going on. Right, Diane?
That's right.
All righty. We'll get to him. He's standing by, but let's get some real quick IndyCar notice. IndyCar news is and man, what a kid I caught the end of this race. Kyle Kirkwood sealed the deal as Kirkwood earned his first NTT IndyCar Series victory Sunday, winning the Acura Grand Prix in Long Beach. That's a great track out there. Man, this kid really, really put it together. Showed it, just had unbelievable for you driving for Andretti Motorsports. And man, I'm telling you, also back there in about a year ago, he drove for AJ Foyt and won the Rookie of the Year, man. So it was Kyle Kirkman, Romain Guzman, Marcus Ericsson, Colton Herta. I love Colton Herta, Diane.
Yes,
he is just so cool,
him,
man. I like him. So those guys were your top finishers. Marcus Ericsson, Patty O'Ward, and Alex Palou are your top in the point standings. And of course, IndyCar is heading to Alabama coming up. And of course, the month of May is coming around real soon too. Okay, gonna click him in, bring him in on the deal. Right there he is. And he's that Diane. You need to slide over a little bit so he can see you right there. There you go. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the line. In fact, Diane, just there you go. There you can see it. And we get nice tight together there. He is the 3-time National Speedway motorcycle champion. He did time with Ray Abraham in the NASCAR Winston West Series. He has drove just about anything that has 4 wheels, 2 wheels on him. He owns the WCOBM. He is the owner of the Gene Woods Racing Experience. He is our good friend. He is our boss. Say hi to Gene Woods, Diane.
Hey, Gene.
How you guys doing?
How you doing, Gene? Good, man. Hey, listen, we're back up racing short track. We're heading to Costa Mesa. Tell everybody that is not informed or knowledge of what Speedway motorcycle racing is.
Speedway motorcycle racing is dirt track oval. 500cc motorcycles with no brakes. It's probably the most spectacular form of dirt track racing that there is, and that's my opinion. Not just because I've raced it, but because I've seen everything else. It's the 2-wheeled sprint car is what it is.
And it is just something. Now, you don't. Gene took us down there last time. Now, they don't get like NASCAR where they're putting members, but boy, they do things called pinching that will move people up out of the way. Is that pretty much the objective of this thing, Gene? If you get too close, you pinch somebody out of the way?
Well, it's all part of the deal to move somebody out of the way. You're not trying to run anybody over because usually you get collected up in those own little deals that you cause yourself. But there's plenty of room on the racetrack. There's
we lost Gene. Yeah, we lost Gene there. Let's see if we can get him to come back. If he comes back, we'll wait for him just a couple quick seconds. Sometimes the internet does that. And so we'll wait and see if he clicks back up in. But anyhow, we're going down to Costa Mesa this weekend. It's going to be something really cool to see and have a really good time with it. We'll wait for Gene to pop back I'm sure internet connection. Yeah, he's going to log back in. So while he does that, we'll just zoom it over here. And when he comes back in, we'll bring him back in with us. But anyhow, Speedway Motorcycles, it is really, really something really cool to see because I mean, they're on dirt. The fuel in this thing, there he is. We'll bring him back right there. We'll let him get settled in. There he is. He's back with us. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Sometimes the internet does that, doesn't it, Gene?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
There we go. Okay, so anyhow, I was talking, and we were talking for Diane and I that are more been into the four wheels and stock car racing and this, and putting fenders and bumping and this and that. In Speedway, there's not that, but I watched when we were down. They do a little thing what I would call pinching to get them out of the way. So, what's the theory with this?
Well, I mean, if you run up underneath somebody and you put a wheel on them, they generally will get out of the way. I mean, some guys hold their line. There's multiple lines on the racetrack, though. There's other ways around the outside of people and underneath them and slide jobs like any other form of racing.
I noticed that too, but I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos over in Europe, and these guys, I guess in racing, it's always been known the shortest way around the track is at the bottom, but sometimes the middle of the track or the top of the track is just as good, right, Gene?
Well, the shortest way isn't always the fastest way. That's, in dirt racing anyway, that's normally if there's a cushion out there, sometimes you can carry a lot more speed, especially through the middle of the corner and off the corner. So, yeah, that's, there's multiple lines on dirt racing and generally the shortest way is the fastest way, but not always.
There you go. Then you moved into After Speedway, 3 championships. You got a chance to race over in Europe. Of course, your brother, about 8 to 10 years older than you are, than he was. From everything that you've told me and everybody that I've been around and saying that Rick was the man on that bike, man. But you guys had a lot of good times together. Did you actually get to race together?
We did. We raced several things together, but Speedway, we only got to race together for a year, and then he retired right after I started. We raced for 1 year in team racing. Team racing.
There you go. You moved on you hooked up with Ray Abraham after motorcycles, and you moved into stock car racing. How did that all come about?
Well, after sitting around racing, for so many years, you sit around for a year or so and you kind of get bored. I actually had an opportunity to drive for a guy named Dick Midgley in the Winston West series. And I drove one race and kind of got hooked on the thing. We had a blast and we had a pretty good run for our first time. And we got hooked and I said, hey, this is what we need to do. And it just took us a little while to put a team together and, the finances and build the car.
And the financing now is just, you and I have talked about this. Financing is just absolutely crazy the way that this. What is your theory now that the Cup has moved? Some people call it a Walmart car. It's a factory thing that's been developed by NASCAR. Are we rolling in the right direction the way these cars are going, Gene?
It's hard to say. I mean, I feel that we were one of the last teams that was kind of a backyard team that literally built the car ourselves. We, from hanging the body to build the motors to putting the car together. There weren't very many teams that actually do that stuff. And it was by necessity because of the amount of money that we had to go race on is why we did it. I mean, when you're painting the race cars in the shop and you're painting the haulers outside the shop and you're putting the motors in and you have a little motor room and you're building the motors, it's a difficult way to go racing. It's turned into such a money game in the old days. And I mean, the old days of the inception of stock car racing, they did everything. The guy built the motors and the chassis and did the tires, and now they have specialists. They have, fuel tracking guys, tire guys, you name it. Aero guys. Everybody's a specialist nowadays.
And crew chiefs used to make the big money, and they still do make good money. But the guys that are making the really big money are all the aero guys and the computer guys in the engineering departments, because that's just what this has come down to, don't you think, Gene? A lot of engineering involved in it compared to the old way it was done.
Well, definitely there's multifaceted talents that run through the team, but without a doubt, it's a matter of money. Is what it really boils down to. How fast do you want to go? How much money do you have?
Then you moved on to truck racing. What was the idea with that? I mean, from that, now we went motorcycles, we went to stock cars, and now we're in trucks.
I watched it on TV and I saw the short course stuff, and it was just so spectacular to watch. It was literally sprint cars and supercross combined in a pickup truck, a real sophisticated pickup truck, 20 inches of travel, 900 horsepower, a real handful of drive. And it looked like a difficult series. And once again, it was something that we could build ourselves and do. And with the help of Dodge and with the help of Deja Vu and Hustler, helped us financially. We were able to build that team ourselves and go campaign a truck for a couple of years.
There you go.
So Gene, is there anything that you have not raced that you would really like to?
I don't know. I'm kind of happy with what I've raced, but I would have liked to have driven some Indy cars and a lot of other things. I wouldn't, even drag racing would be fun to try.
What about a boat?
I wanted to race on limited hydros when I was a kid. Bill Muncie was my hero, and a good thing I didn't, because I probably wouldn't be here right now, like most of them.
And the next one is, because I used to do this a lot as a kid, is snowmobiling. You ever raced a snowmobile?
I did race snowmobiles. Yeah, my brother and I did race snowmobiles quite a bit. Yeah.
And what was that like?
That was a fun sport. I was young. I was 13, 14 years old at the time, but we did quite a bit of racing. I raced the West Coast, the USSA West Series, and my brother and Sumner McKnight raced back east, and it was a blast. It was quite an experience.
Where do you usually race at?
Well, we raced all over the West Coast. It just depended. I mean, we raced Eagle River, Wisconsin. We raced in Yellowstone, Montana, and then we raced local stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
But here's something else that that I don't know if you knew this. Do you know that Gene was the first ever paid factory rider for Honda at age 10?
Wow.
At
You
age
paid
10.
a lot for that?
No, actually, I was getting paid to test ride the. I was getting paid to test ride the.
Okay. Wow, that's still cool for a 10-year-old, though.
They supplied Jeff Ward and I with motorcycles and parts during that time, and there was no factory involvement in racing. Besides, Dick Mann rode the Daytona 200 on a Honda prior to that, so that was kind of the
you
first
and Jeff Ward. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's.
I'll tell you what I'm most proud of. Actually, was starting a company called Fuel Safe when I was 20 years old with a guy named Bill Russell, who now owns Pyrotech. And if you see the go-karts running around there, everybody's wearing a Pyrotech helmet.
Right.
So I'm kind of proud of that the involvement in the racing industry, that we got to do that.
He saved a lot of lives, that's for sure.
It's a good thing that she's got a Pyrotech on because she's having a little trouble.
Yeah. But the safety, that safety belt saved a lot of people's lives. I mean, cars. I mean, I think back, Gene, when the terrible accident with Swede Savage in Indianapolis, and of course there was a lot of other circumstances that happened, but fuel is nothing to play around with. Before we let you go, I want to let everybody know you are watching On Pit Road Racing. This is live from the WCOBM, live from downtown Las Vegas. We are inside the complex that Gene has here, that has the Gene Woods Racing Experience, the indoor go-kart track. And on the other side of the wall is the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and this is what I want to get to, because not only are we going down to Costa Mesa to see some great motorcycle racing, we're going down to promote this nonprofit. Gene, take a few minutes. How did you come up with the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame? What does it do? And while you're doing that, real quickly, I shall hold up a pair of the shoes that are right there. So, Gene, go ahead.
The inception of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame was really just a concept to get a bunch of former racers and former industry people together one time a year. Everybody's getting older. You never know when it's going to be the last time that you see somebody. So that was the initial concept of it. And we just thought the hot shoe was a great, iconic symbol of the organization. And so we started a little hot shoe. I don't know if you call it a collection, but a museum with some of the most famous guys that ever wore a hot shoe. Absolutely, the most famous guys that ever wore a hot shoe. And it turned into an evolution. Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to make this something that's besides just a get together for a bunch of old guys? So we talked about it. We decided to give something away. There's benevolent funds for riders, many other things. So we decided, how can we help the general public? And we thought it would be neat if we gave shoes away, and we came up with the concept of heart shoes from the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, heart and soul of the motorcycle industry. So we supply shoes to the needy, and that's it's a good thing, and it's good for people, and it helps the community, it helps the needy, and it makes you feel good on top of it all.
It does.
It certainly
really
does. We've actually had a chance to be a part of one of those locations to where we went down and to see people's faces. And I think the gentleman that did the video piece for us right there said, he was just going to look to get a meal. And then somebody walked up to him and said, "Hey, do you need some shoes?" And if you'd have seen the people's faces the day when Gene and Diane and Jerry and all of us were down there in the van and just handing out the faces and the smiles, it was worth it all the way around. And of course, we're going to be working with Project 150. We've teamed up with our good friend Andre Haynes, who's going to be helping us out with the veterans. They're getting ready to build a brand new vet center, Gene, up in Pahrump, Nevada. And so we're going to be helping out get some shoes on people's feet.
Very cool. And we're also going to do some giveaways while we're down in Costa Mesa. We're also going to the Sacramento Mile in the middle of May, and we're going to take a day and we're going to go down and help some needy people with some shoes while we're up there. And we're going down there to promote this and bring awareness to what we do. And we do it through the racing community, and they've been more than generous to help us to make these events happen.
And we just wanted to mention this too, that this radio show and television show here does not accept dollars for advertising. Okay. So if you're watching this and you would like to be part of this program, that is fine. And we'll be more than happy to air your television commercial, but you do not pay to be on this program. What you do is you will make a donation to the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. And we've got all the information. It's hotshoehof.com. There's a donate tab there. All you need to do is just donate onto that. Let us know. We've got all of our telephone numbers, social media. You can reach out to myself, to Diane, to Gene. And we've got a whole platform that we're going to be putting up on that next week to where donation. We have a platinum level, a gold level, a silver level, and a bronze level, just like the shoes. And that will be doing that. And there's also some good things along with it. So, Gene, we're excited. We're ready to go racing in California to get the heck out of town and enjoy some California weather down there. And I think it's going to be a real good event.
No, it's going to be a blast. And, we get to eat at my favorite restaurant when we're down there. So,
I love that. Yeah, man. Tacos. Remember the last time I ordered 3 and he said,
at least this time I'll know not to. One taco, please. Just one taco.
I couldn't believe it because I was used to Taco Bell or Del Tacos and I ordered 3 and he looked at me, he says, you better be hungry because they brought a plate.
And the burritos are the size of your plate.
Right. Anyhow,
it's a half.
Anyhow, so that's it. The Hot Shoe Hall of Fame is right here at the Gene Woods Racing Experience, 450 Fremont Street. Once again, hotshoehof.com. That is the website. This is a nonprofit. Nobody makes any money. We are here to do this and just to do this and help people. And Diane's coughing a little bit there. Let me mute her out there. It's okay, Diane. Gene, I want to thank you real quickly where they can get more information or anything about the Hot Shoe. If they want to get in touch with you, where can they do that, sir?
Well, they can search it. If you Google it, it'll bring up all of the Instagram, the Facebook pages, the website. You can reach us through the website and through the email, and one of us will get right back to you. We have 12 board members that are all upper echelon motorcycle industry people that just love what we're doing. It's great to have them a part of it, and it's great to have you guys a part of it also. And I think you're doing a great job and a great thing, and thanks for helping out.
Yeah, and this is it. Our brand new studios. We're downtown, and man, I've been wanting this for years. And you decided that we're pulling the trigger. We're moving it from Sunset. We're bringing it downtown. We're in the heart of Las Vegas. Do the show. Of course, we're going to be out there this weekend. Gene, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for everything that you've done for this program. We're looking forward to hooking up with you tomorrow. We're going to pack the van up. You're on your way Friday. Diane and I'll catch a flight out Saturday morning, and we'll see you in Costa Mesa.
We'll see you there. Thanks a lot, Mike. Thanks, Diane.
There you go, Gene Woods right there. We'll talking him up and going to wrap it up. Well, I'll tell you what, we got real quickly. We're going to do a quick one last break. We'll come back. We've got some news and things we want to check into, and we do that. We'll do it all right here at On Pit Road Racing, live from the WCOBM downtown Las Vegas. Back right after this, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on. Get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Welcome to my world. Handicap man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, hey, you want some shoes? I said, yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well. And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. Well, I'm not we, but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone. You know, it makes for good karma or good energy, whatever it takes. Hell, I ought to do a product placement for Coca-Cola.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Oh, I get a little silly before the end of the day. I get silly, huh? On Pit Road Racing, right here at the WCOB flagship station and live from downtown Las Vegas inside 450 Fremont Street. We do it each and every week right here, so make sure you stick with us. Don't forget all of our social medias. We'll post all the shows up on YouTube, Facebooks, and everything else that's coming along the way. Want to thank all of our good friends today. Thanks for Gene for stopping by. Looking forward to a good weekend. Diane, you ready to... You're getting back to California over 60 years, and now you finally get to California.
Been 15 years here in Vegas, and this will be my second time actually going to California. Went last year, had a blast. I mean, saw some really good racing that I hadn't seen racing like that in a long time.
You know what you're going to get to see this week?
Sidecars.
Sidecars are back.
I cannot wait because that's the funniest.
You like those things?
Shit I've ever seen.
You like that?
Funny. It's like.
Well, there's one thing that I've learned from being last year when I go down this year, as I remember, so because in speedway racing, there's only 5 laps on the track, so the racing goes really quick.
Fast.
Okay, so I learned from this point on, if I'm going to go get us a beer when we're going to enjoy a cold beverage while we're down there, I'm going to go before racing, because once racing gets started,
the lines are
you can't get near the beer. You can't get near the beer alleys.
And we're going to have swag to sell.
Yeah,
we're going to do a lot of promoting and. See if we can't get some donations and stuff for the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. So if you're out in Costa Mesa and you're at the Speedway, motorcycle race for the Jack Milne Cup, come see us. We have a tent up.
Yeah, the Hot Shoe tent will be there.
The Hot Shoe tent will be up there. The van will be there. We'll have shoes. We'll have shirts. We'll have hats. We'll have
all kinds of stuff.
We're
going to be doing a live remote from down there starting at 5 o'clock. We'll be down there for a couple of hours, and I'm sure we'll get to see some of our favorite people down there.
Yeah,
Fast Eddie Castro and the Cookie Man will be down there. Gene's going to be down there. Daryl Bazzani, I'm sure he'll be down there. Jerry's coming down, so it's going to be a packed. When we were there last year, Diane, it was packed to the walls.
It was packed. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard to actually go get a seat.
Yeah.
To go get that. But it's this Saturday, April 23rd, at the Costa Mesa Speedway, and it's the Jack Milne Cup. It's going to be featuring Speedway bikes, which Gene was talking to us a little bit about. Speedway bikes, sidecars, which that's absolutely my favorite right now because I was just amazed. The juniors, the legends, and then there is a really, really cool vintage bike show. You can see some really, really old, cool bikes. Gates open up at 5:30, 6 o'clock qualifying, and the first race, the green flag drops at 7:30. We're going to be broadcasting out there live. We're going to start about 5 p.m., and you can see it on the WCOBM network. weather's going to be great.
Yeah, fantastic down in
In
California
fact,
this
you know
week.
what? Let me go ahead and get the weather.
While she's doing that, I will just sit there and she'll look up the weather, and I'll let you guys know. We want to thank everybody that's been involved with this program all the way through the years. Our good friends out at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, everybody, the Gene Woods Racing Experience is there. Man, they're with us. Woods Family Sandwiches, the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, all the good hotels and people that work with us. And you do got a weather report from
I
Costa Mesa.
do. Saturday, it's the high of 71, low of 59. Mostly sunny. Friday night 74 and a low of a 60, and Sunday 65. Which, you know what? I think it's going to be about the same here.
Right.
So it's not like, it's not like we're going from one extreme to the next.
Yeah.
I love the 60s and 70s. I heard California springtime weather is awesome. Now we drove home last year,
Right.
which was really cool because I got to see a lot of stuff that
Right.
I'd never ever seen before. And I was watching the Today Show, and then I was talking to Cammie up front. Did you see the pictures of the poppies?
Oh, yes. The big
Would
bloom.
that
The
not-
super bloom is what they call it.
That would be so amazing to see.
Well, we're not driving home this
No,
time.
we're
We're
fine.
flying
So maybe,
back.
I don't know, maybe I can get my binoculars out and look out the window and
Look
say,
out the window.
hey, there's some poppies.
Want to thank everybody. Final comments from you?
No, just everyone have a great and a safe weekend. Be kind to everybody, and we'll see you here next week.
You got it. That's it.
Thanks for joining us for On Pit Road Racing. Follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at On Pit Road Racing. On Pit Road Racing is written and produced by WCOBN TV. I'm John the Announcer for On Pit Road Racing.